Hi guys. I was scrolling through TikTok and there was this TikTok. And it said, God lets us, let me start that again. God allows us to lose those we love so we learn to value love. And it went through a few more things like that. And it said at the end, God lets us go through things so we can learn to be more like Him. And for some reason that just struck me. I think I was most afraid of being alone until I lost Annie. She was my sister in all but blood. We had our problems. If you've seen my channel, you've seen that I've never hid the fact that we're problems. In fact, I made videos some of the same nights that I remembered some stuff. You don't hide that stuff. How do you learn if you hide it? How do you grow and change? I think people get mad at God when they go through things. I did. But we shouldn't. We're imperfect beings trying to learn how to be like our Creator. My mom is a very original person. She never had a topic that was off limits with us kids. Me and my sister, her friend Tina's daughter Sheila, they both, and then later my stepfather, they never shied away from any type of topic. I can remember when I was 5 years old and I had to have my first surgery. I wasn't as afraid of the surgery as I was being left at the hospital. Until I was 35, I was alone for maybe a day or two at a time. I think the longest I had ever been by myself was like 5 days, till I was 35. And then I lost my best friend Danny, who I'd lived with for 18 years. And it had problems, sure. Every friendship does. But all of a sudden I'm alone. Now I live alone. Well, no other humans live with me. 2-footed, 4-footed furries live with me. And I would show you them, but they are in bed. They have deserted me and gone to bed. When I go to try to go to bed, they're going to be on my side of the bed with my pillow. But I'm alone and comfortable. How do you go from completely terrified of being alone to being fine? I'm not sure I have the answer. But I think with anything we learn, it's one day at a time. And when we have a negative impact our lives, stop for a minute. And instead of thinking the worst, try to turn it around. I know I can get through this. Not how am I going to get through this? Tell yourself, I can get through this. And the how will come. The hardest part is convincing yourself that you're okay and you can do it. If you convince your mind and your heart you can do it, whatever it is, the rest comes to you. The rest is given to you. It's convincing yourself and learning. I think that's what that TikTok really poked off in my brain was, yes, we question when bad things happen, but instead of staying sad over it, give that grief its time, and then if you need to get mad, get mad. But find a way to tell yourself, even if you don't believe it, I can do this. Don't know how, but I ain't gonna let this beat me. I think that's the biggest lesson I learned when I was 35. I didn't know how I was gonna survive by myself. I'm 46. It's been over 10 years, almost 12 actually. I'll be 47 in November. And I made it through. It didn't kill me. It broke me. I'll not lie, it broke me. I was completely shattered. It felt like my soul was in pieces. But I put them back together. And you can too. Whatever your awesome impossible is, stop telling yourself you can't get through it. Give yourself a time to be grief-stricken, to be angry, to be pissed off even at whomever or whatever. But don't go blaming Joe, the ex-boyfriend Joe or whatever, because of whatever, and you can't saying it's because of him. You can't, because right there you can't. If you think you can't, you can't. When your awesome impossible hits, even when you don't believe it, you tell yourself, I can get through this. You write down in a notebook, I can do this, whatever this is. Even if you don't believe it, and you keep writing it, and you keep telling yourself it, and you keep telling others it even when you don't believe it. And pretty soon, it's like learning to walk. Done that 3 times. You're sitting in the chair, and you know it's going to be scary to try to get on your feet again, because you know your legs have forgotten how to walk. And then they come over, the therapist, the doctors. Time to try to get on your feet. And they help you out of your chair. And you grab the walker or you grab their hands. And you're up on your feet for the first time. Maybe it hurts. And maybe your legs shake, and maybe you're terrified. But pretty soon, you're going to realize you're not leaning on them anymore. That you're moving by yourself. That you're advancing and creating something new by yourself. Be that new thing, the next steps that carry you across the room. They're new. They're not the same steps you took before. And they'll never be the same steps. Every step you take is a new step. Be it a physical step, an emotional step, a spiritual step. Every step is a new step. Period. Your thoughts and how you let yourself perceive events and things that happen to you and to those around you, they will color everything. It's like food coloring in the water. First the water's clear, and then you grab the blue food coloring and Just a single drop colors the water. That single drop is your thought. Are you going to let that thought be blue and dark and gloomy and color the water with clouds so that it's even harder to get through, to get to the clear water again? Or are you going to grab the yellow and put a single drop? And maybe it only barely colors the water at first because you don't believe. So you add another drop. And pretty soon you have an even brighter, more beautiful cup of water than you started with. It's the same thing. But this is how you start. Even if you don't believe it here. Don't let your thoughts become so negative that that's all you can see through. Give yourself those negative thoughts. They deserve their time. You have to recognize all of your feelings, good or bad. Because humans aren't bottles. We're not made to hold things like that inside. We're volcanoes. We erupt if we hold that inside too much. I've been there. I've been through a nervous breakdown. You don't want to do that. Don't hold it inside. I'm not sure where this whole rant came from. Well, other than the TikTok and everything. But we haven't talked for a while. I haven't ranted at you for a while. I've been spoiling you. But if you can learn from listening to one person, it doesn't mean that your life is going to never have bumps. No, life's not like that. Life's like a gravel road. It's bumpy and pitted. But if something someone says helps smooth out a couple of them ruts, just a little bit, so that when you go through it, it's not so rough, then it's worth it. If you need someone to talk to, hit me up in the comments. We can talk. Bye, guys. God bless.